Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News, held live Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And for today's lead story, here's our host, Chillie Falls. Hey, good morning, and welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News for the first show of 2020. This is, of course, January the 2nd, 2020, and welcome to all of you who are out there. Again, real quickly, my thanks to all you folks that have subscribed to this channel. We try to do lots of things to discuss travel and cruise industry news and the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves. My interview show is called Chillie Chats. It's all on this channel. And those of you that have subscribed, I sure appreciate it. Thank you very much. And we hope to have us a good year ahead with travel and cruise industry stuff. So today's topic is a little bit off center, and there's a good reason for it. I have to go for a little medical procedure later on today. So I had some time yesterday. I'm staying, most of you know, with the pet sitting for my niece. I'm staying at a corgi's house until Monday. But I had to come home this morning to do the show, which is much easier to do here than it is on the fly someplace else. And get ready to go for a pet scan. Pet sitting, and now I got a pet scan. That kind of sucks. But anyway, that's coming up later on this morning. So, you got to get ready, cleaned up, and, put the right clothes on and all that business. So anyway, but that's happening later on today. So I had a time yesterday to actually make some notes and to come up with a little bit of a show today. A little off normal. This is one reason there's not a whole lot of news going on right now for some reason. We got through the holiday weekend with nothing major happening in the travel and cruise industry news space, and just as soon as I say that, something will break loose in 5 minutes from now. But anyway, that's what it is. So today's topic is, can you lose weight on a cruise? Now, I know a lot of you folks aren't aware of this, but I'm a big fat guy. And so keeping in mind with all of you guys out there that have New Year's resolutions about getting healthy and losing weight, I'm there. I do that. I make resolutions every other day about losing weight and eating healthy and all that business. So I figured, well, we all like to cruise. So let's talk about losing weight on a cruise. Can you lose weight on a cruise? And I've identified several things that can happen that allow you to the things you can do on a cruise to lose some weight. So I'll identify those with you and my thoughts on each. Now, as most of you know, almost every cruise ship has a fitness center. They call them fitness center, and they got all these machines and treadmills and bicycles and workout rooms and all that business. They generally have a nice view of the ocean, so you got something to take your mind off the pain and torture you're putting yourself through in the workout. But what I have found in my efforts at this is that it involves a lot of sweating, foul language under your breath, and it's just not my idea of a vacation. So when I think about fitness center, I think, no, ain't gonna happen. This was after I tried it a few minutes. You can see there's people in the background there that are still doing it, but that didn't work out for me. So I gave up on the whole concept of fitness centers on a cruise. Now, one of the things you can do, you can eat more lettuce. Now, that's always good. That's good and healthy, and it's low calorie. Eat lots of lettuce, and that'll help. Now, another thing a lot of people do is they go to the walking track. Now, all cruise ships have, if you've never cruised before, There's a walking / jogging track on every cruise ship. Some of them, like on this one that I'm showing here, I think that's the Norwegian Sky or the Sun. I'm not sure which one I used, but anyway, they have the kind of midway up and down the cruise ship. They put a track, and it goes all the way around. You can walk all the way around the whole ship. And I tried this. Now, what happened with me? I started walking on this. I did it on the Norwegian Sun. I made it about 30 yards, and I needed a nap. Now, the other thing that I did when I got back to my cabin to take the nap, I pulled out my slide rule and my calculator, and I figured out that in the amount of time that I walked and the distance that I walked, I burned 1/2 of 1 calorie. So you have to walk a whole lot of ways to burn some calories. And my thoughts on that, ain't gonna happen. So you can always, of course, eat more lettuce, or also, like I do, increase your vegetable intake. Now, one of the ways of increasing your vegetable intake and fruit intake is one of these little things called a Bloody Mary. Now, if you'll see in this picture, there's vegetables. There's the tomato juice that the drink's in. That's tomato. That's a vegetable. There's a stick of celery. That's vegetable. There's an olive. What's that? Is that a fruit or veg? Anyway, and there's some lemon. That's a fruit. So there's an increase in fruit and vegetables in the Bloody Mary, and I do that at breakfast every day. Right after breakfast, actually. I like to I have my breakfast, and then I get a Bloody Mary and head out on the pool deck. That's a typical morning for me, and it's healthy. It's increasing all the good things that I need to take into to my body. So that's one of the things that I like to do. Now, there's another thing that a lot of people do on a cruise ship. They got these sports courts. Now, I have to tell you, folks, I never plan a cruise on planning on going out and playing basketball. I mean, even in my younger days when I wasn't as big and fat as I am now, when I was a skinny little dude, no, I was never a skinny little dude, but I never planned a cruise to go play basketball. That wasn't here. But now, see, what most people don't realize is, yeah, you can get up there and you can run around and sweat and stuff. But I'm thinking more about your mental health, because now here's the problem, folks. On a cruise ship, okay, the cruise ship is going, let's say, 16 knots. Now, I never have understood what knots are, but it's going 16 knots in this direction. Now, the basketball court is always in this direction, you see. Okay, and the tennis, same thing with tennis, but we'll use basketball as an example. So the ship is going this way at 16 knots, and let's say there's a 10-mile-an-hour wind. So if that's in the same direction, if it's a 10 mile an hour plus the 16 knots of the speed of the ship, and however you add knots and miles per hour, it's going in a direction. So if you're standing, let's say you're at the free throw line and you're shooting a foul shot, and you shoot like this, you're shooting at the basket straight up over your head like you're supposed to. Well, with the 16 knot crosswind from the ship's movement and 10 miles an hour wind, you shoot at the basket and the ball ends up 7 feet to the left of the hoop, and you look like a fool. So if you're up there trying to impress other guys or impress the chicks, you failed. So what I pulled out my little calculator and my slide rule, and I figured out that if you're standing at the free throw line, getting ready to make that free throw shot in a 10-mile-an-hour wind while the ship's going 16 knots, you have to turn 41.3 degrees to your right and shoot that way, and the wind and the speed of the ship bling the ball over, and you make the free throw. Now, if you're 6 feet to the right of the free throw line, then the whole thing changes, and the percentage and the angle of the dingle and the dangle and the changes. and you go nuts. So that's why you're better off to eat more lettuce than you are to play basketball. And of course, there's more sweating involved as well. So I like the whole idea of the keto cruise. Now, a keto cruise, it tells you that you can eat lots of protein, which is bacon and sausage and meats, okay, and cheeses and stuff that you like. You just can't have carbs. So you can have eggs and bacon and stuff for breakfast. You just can't have toast or a bagel. Or you can't have pancakes or French toast. Or you could go, excuse me, go to the Italian restaurant and have a meatball sub with no bread. Well, you get the meat and the sauce and all that. You just don't have the bread. Now, some people think that's awful. But actually, as I try to lose a little weight, I do that a lot. I've got restaurants that I'll go and have, a burger with no bun. At my Italian restaurant, I get meatball subs all the time with no buns. My favorite spot for breakfast, I get an omelet, a sausage omelet with a couple veggies in it and a side of apples. No bread. So I do actually think that's a good idea and something that you can do more of on the cruise. The problem with when you're on a cruise is when you have 4 desserts at each meal. That doesn't help you. And then you go out and you buy the frothy drinks that are outstanding in calories. Those are the things that really hurt you. Now, I mean, you put some limits on those, and you'll be okay. Now, another thing that there's a lot of on a cruise is dancing. Now, dancing is a good way of burning some calories. Excuse my throat. It's a good way to burn some calories. Now, the problem with dancing, you'll notice from that picture, that's obviously early in the evening. There's not a big crowd, and they're dancing slow, so they're not burning a lot of calories dancing slow. The hot stuff happens late at night in the clubs when they're packed and they're boogieing and they're going wild and they're burning calories. They really are. The problem with that, old fat guy like me, hell, I'm in bed asleep. But anyway, you can burn calories. Now, sorry, folks. If you dance for an hour, you burn 640 calories. Now, that sounds good. But in that hour, you have 4 cocktails. So you take in 2,460 calories with the cocktails, and you burn 640. So you're still 1,800 and something in the hole. Or, of course, you could eat more lettuce. Now, what I do, and the main thing that I do on a cruise to control my weight and to help lose weight, is I spend a lot of time in a hot tub. Now, that's not me, folks. That's some skinny young dude in a hot tub. But that's where I spend a lot of my time, is in the hot tub. And I love to sit in the hot tub for lots of time. I have my little Bloody Mary with me. I might sip on that a little bit, get a little sun. I like to get a little sun, enjoy the scenery. Yes, just because I'm an old poop and politically incorrect, I like to look at women. I don't mind telling you, I do. It's a good-looking chick walks by in a bikini, I'm gonna look. Hell, the old chick my age walks by, looks good, I'm gonna look. I like ladies. I'm sorry, it happens. But I spend a lot of time in the hot tubs. Now, I have been working and studying since I got home on the last cruise. I'm trying to calculate how many minutes you have to be in a hot tub to burn X number of calories. So I've had the slide rule out, and the calculator, and I'm having trouble with the math. I just have not been able to figure out how long I have to stay in the hot tub to burn 100 calories. If I ever come up with that calculation, I'll let you know. Okay. The bottom line of this, folks, you're spending money to go on a cruise. Don't worry about losing weight. Go on a cruise and enjoy yourself. Eat and drink what you want to do to enjoy the vacation. If you don't want to eat and drink a lot, then don't. But don't worry about the weight. Worry about it when you get home or the next New Year's resolution that you come up with. Just go and enjoy the cruise. That's my resolution from 2020. Let's go and enjoy ourselves on at least one cruise this year. That's the advice from the fat guy. Okay, let me jump over and see if anybody's watching my silliness this morning. Yes, well, goodness, got Bonnie's here. Gretchen, good morning, Gretchen. And Bonnie says, hey, Gretchen and Chillie, yes, prayers my way. Yeah, I've got that stupid PET scan today. That's going to suck. Fitness center. Years ago, I did try the exercise bike, pretending my pedaling was propelling the ship. Felt like a hamster on a wheel. Oh, that's what a great, I like that. Yeah, that's a marvelous. That's great. I like that. Let's see. You're a funny guy. Bloody Mary, so healthy. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, good for veggie content. It's not a vacation without a Bloody Mary. Absolutely, Gretchen. I completely agree with you. And, the funny thing about it, the last cruise I was on, I make no mistake about it. I'm a bourbon guy. I love my bourbon, and the prices of bourbon on the Norwegian ship was outrageous. If you got good bourbon, it was like $16-18 a drink. I said no. But my Bloody Mary in the morning was cheap. It was like $6.99 every day, so I could, didn't even spend a whole lot of money. Excuse my silly throat. Princess makes a Bloody Mary that's like a meal that's full of veggies. Awesome. My 85-year-old friend had one every morning. Well, I might not have one every morning, but I have one most. So, hey, there's Jason too. Good to see you, Jason. Jason is also follows my friend Bruce. Traveling with Bruce, he gives him hell a lot. I enjoy some of his comments over to on Bruce. Okay, Bonnie's going to eat more lettuce. Good for you, Bonnie. Bonnie, you're not like me. You're not a big fat guy. You're a very thin lady to start with. Yeah, Bonnie says hi, Jason. Morning to you, Bonnie and Jason. I'm on a treadmill every day at home, not on a cruise. God bless you, Gretchen. I wish I could do that. And when you get my age and you start having hip issues and knee issues, it gets a little tough on that part of you, and then it throws your back out. I walk dogs a short walk every evening. That's my exercise. Yeah, and that, quite frankly, folks, that has helped me a lot with the pet sitting that I do. I get out with the dogs a lot every day, and especially the little corgi that I'm with. And I haven't done a very good job of filming him this time, but he's great to go out on walks with. He loves to play ball, so we take a ball and throw it. And it's a smart little dog, but his dad wants me to walk him a couple times every day. So I get my exercise with that. Yeah, yesterday we watched football games on New Year's Day, and at halftime of the Rose Bowl last night, the dog and I went for a walk, and we got back in time for the second half. So it worked out. All right, folks, that's it for this morning. Probably we'll have some news, I hope. by Saturday. Since this didn't turn out to be a news show this morning, it turned out to be a little silliness on my part. So anyway, that's it for today. I will see you guys again on Saturday. And of course, if anything major happens between now and then, I'll let you know. Later, y'all. That about wraps up today's travel and cruise industry news. We hope to see you next time. We meet here every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This broadcast was produced by Chillie's Cruises and hosted by me, Chillie Falls.